Hey guys, Roxbox9 here with another card in the day in the life of an EDH commander. Today we're going to talk about the second Praetor, Urabrask the Hidden, and he's very hidden in lava and punching your face. But anyway, he's 3 and 2 red for 5cc legendary creature Praetor, like the rest of them, and he gives creatures you control haste, and creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. He's a 4/4, so he's definitely the smallest Praetor of them all, which is kind of interesting. So in EDH, particularly, what makes him so good is that he gives your creatures haste more than anything. Because in EDH, the biggest problem that I find players having is when they're playing very large creatures. The creature might hit play, it might have Trample, Shroud, Hexproof, this, that, some awesome abilities that make it a crazy beatdown card. But then you have to wait a turn. And in EDH, that's an eternity because your opponents have been staring at your monstrous creature's maw for a turn, and they're freaking out. And they're like, okay, I'm gonna tutor for a spell to get rid of it, or they already have spells in their hand. Like, oh, quick, play it, get rid of it, and you just spent all your mana and a full turn trying to play something that will inevitably become useless because it doesn't have haste. So Urabrask gives creatures you control haste. That's pretty awesome in and of itself. On a reasonably cheap creature. 5 or 4/4 is pretty reasonable cost. But his second ability is also really cool. Creatures your opponents control to the battlefield tapped. So you prevent your opponents from doing what you're doing, which is that you're creating tempo advantage by making your creatures immediately viable in attack. Whereas your opponent's stuff loses that turn because they hit play tapped and they lose any tempo they built by playing this big creature. It becomes essentially useless. They've spent all their mana on something that can't help them that turn. Whereas you spent mana to play something that's instantly helpful, and the following turn you don't have to. You already can do stuff before the following turn. So I think he's pretty awesome. He's even better, I think, single player because of his cost. In EDH, cost is all over the place, but no one will disagree that an early costed powerhouse is better or as good as a later game powerhouse, and I think his abilities make him very, very playable, particularly in decks that run tokens or run mass creature creation or beatdown, which red is a major color for, and he would be a big shoe-in right there because he would make these creatures very viable, make big army rushes very viable, and he has no real self-protection, but neither does really any of the other Praetors, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. His cost is totally reasonable. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section below, and I'll see you guys next time with, I don't know, one of the other ones.